Hello and welcome to Illinois State House News' coverage of the corruption trial of Rod Blagojevich. It is July 19th and I am Bill McMorris. Big news coming out today. The former Illinois governor could take the stand as early as Tuesday afternoon, but Monday was all his brother Robert. Now Robert, the elder Blagojevich, and his wife Julie were the first two defense witnesses called today, and they hammered home one point repeatedly, and that's that the brothers weren't close. They didn't really keep in touch. Robert was in Tennessee with his wife Julie. Rod was doing whatever it was he was doing up here in Illinois. Robert was in the military. Rod was in law school. So really they swam in different circles, so to speak, and it was a deathbed promise that Robert made to his mother that led to him taking the position as fundraiser with the Blagojevich campaign, first as a volunteer in 2006, and then as a permanent position beginning in August 2008. Now, Robert contended throughout the testimony that he was kept out of the loop for all things political. He didn't know what went on, what kind of private discussions Rod had with, his advisors and alleged co-conspirators, and now cooperating government witnesses like Lon Monk and John Harris. Now, Blagojevich is on tape, and he has given Rod a few pieces of advice, but he said these bits were, reflected his brotherly relationship and care for Rod rather than any sort of conspiracy.
Well, here's one that's pending tonight, possibly with Ragu. And all I'm thinking about saying is, your guys meeting with Rod on Monday. That's all I'm going to say, and I'll leave it at that. Based on what you told me, correct?
Yeah, that's all. He says, I can do a lot more money. So that's, you'd answer that and just say, look, one, that's your,
right.
That's a decision.
One is tied to the other. One is not tied to the other, and if you want to, obviously, we want to help you do that.
Yeah, that's good. Something like that. But yeah, that's.
All right. Well, I hear your caution, and I'm not being defensive. I'm just trying to be explanatory. That's all. All right, look, I'm freezing my ass off. I got to get in the shower here.
I'll see you.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Now, Robert tried to use some of the prosecution's own tape against them, offering his own interpretation of events. When the prosecution says he was looking to ask for a contribution as part of a shakedown, Robert said he was merely fundraising, the same kind he did when he volunteered at the Red Cross and the YMCA. Now, Robert gave some pretty strong testimony. Rod was smiling a lot throughout the questioning, and the jury members seemed attentive as he was speaking. You didn't see people writing things down furiously like they were when they were listening to some of these prosecution witnesses. But the government really tried to make an effort to prove that this man was in fact in the loop with politics and was really privy to the kind of political deals and the personal betterment that the former Illinois governor is alleged to have done. And they had some tape of their own to try to prove this.
Look, the world has changed so much in the law that, in many ways my job's easier. I could tell you one thing that I've learned is you do not let the campaign person do government.
Right.
I mean, you just don't. It doesn't.
Right.
You don't let the fundraisers be doing government because it's too open for the pay-to-play.
Right.
You don't let them say, okay, well, here, I'll help you with this position or that position.
Right.
It's just an overlap. You have them go out and fundraise, and, and maybe they might say, oh, if somebody like Harris would call him and say, what do you think? Oh, I think he's a good guy.
Yeah.
If horse trading is just politics, Christopher Neuwarner was calling it something else that comes out of a horse. He really tried to fluster Robert while he was on the stand today. He asked him, referring back to his days as a member of the United States Army, if he would tolerate such actions in the ranks. He asked him, hey, if an officer told you to stop an investigation by appointing your friend to a position, would you do it? Now, Robert kind of dodged the question for a little bit. He kept asking him to reword it. But finally, enough was enough. He told Neuwarner, you know what, The military and politics are apples and oranges as far as I'm concerned. And his younger brother, the former governor, was beaming as he kind of got stern with new owner. Now, Rod said that as he was leaving the courtroom today, that he was proud of the way his older brother handled himself on the stand. We'll see on Tuesday if the former Illinois governor can handle himself as well.